Yo, what's up, everybody? So, yesterday I met with a producer who hooked me up with some really cool samples. So, I am going to go through them. So today, I'm going to produce a bit, I'm going to chat a bit. I'll only be streaming for maybe like 4 or so hours because it's already pretty late here. But I really want to find some samples that are gonna help me make smarter decisions in the studio. So what I mean is I've been struggling to be satisfied with the kick samples that I'm using or the kick drums that I'm creating. So to cut the crap, the guy that I was talking to yesterday recommended that I just use samples, and for the EP that I've got coming up, that I should just do use the same kick drum in every sample. He mentioned to me that he didn't think it was necessary for me to tune that kick drum to the key of the track. I should just find a kick drum that does a very good job of being a kick and run with it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to also then go through a bunch of the presets that I also got for Silent and Serum. So I'm going to have a look at sounds, going to see whether I get inspired by some of the sounds, and then maybe we'll start making a track. So in the meantime, that's going to take a little bit of a moment. Oh, thanks, Donnie. That's really nice. PC config. What do you mean? Do you want to watch me configure my PC? Trust me, it's not very well set up. So yeah, whilst we wait for that, I'm sure that we could potentially do something else with our time to keep interest. So, what do I have that I could show you that's going to be interesting? Talk about GPU and graphics cards, not related to anything that I do though, so there's not really any point in me talking about it. What I am going to talk about is I'm going to talk about some really cool ways. Yeah, I've used Omnisphere. To be honest with you, I haven't been all that inspired by it that recently, but it's mainly because I find it quite frustrating to because it takes a very long time to load on my computer, so that sort of pisses me off, to be honest, because I'm starting to get to the point where I just want shit to happen very quickly. Okay, well, this has a lot of clicking and popping in it, but we're just going to fuck around with some stuff, so you can just watch me mess around with some audio for a bit. So that clicking is just the sign of a pretty badly made sample. So if we slice it there, we pull that and we roll it off. Maybe we make it a bit longer. There we go. No pop. No pop. And please, sir, no pop. Oh, there's more. Cool. Great. Just what I love to do. So why are we using choir vocals? Well, because I really somehow like it, but I don't like it as it is. There's plenty of things that I can do to this to make it psychedelic and trippy. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's have a listen to that. It's clicking still. It's clicking at the start now. So whoever made these samples has a lot to answer for. Yes, they gave them away for free, but still. Jesus. Thanks for recommending. Yeah, thanks, Chance Injectors. Dash does an incredibly good job teaching sound design and other techniques. And whilst our channels do overlap a little bit in some ways, I hope that for the Ableton users out there, I kind of offer something a little bit, a little bit more interesting than what most of the Ableton teachers are doing. But yeah, Dash is doing very well, and it's beautiful that clearly a lot of people know about my channel and his channel, so it's very, very cool. And he comes on to the stream now and then when I'm live streaming to say hey, so that's really, really nice. How do you think about the Hive synthesizer? Well, first we need to understand why Hive was made. Hive was made as a replacement to Sylenth. So that's what their intention was when they were making that. So you'll actually notice that Hive and Sylenth are actually almost identical. Obviously laid out differently, and you know, a fair bit is obviously different about them. But that was Yuhi's intention when they were creating that synthesizer. So it does a very good job of that, and it sounds very nice. And but I have not really ever gotten very deep into sound design inside of it. And to be honest with you, neither have I really with Sylenth. I use Sylenth. But only ever really on a surface sort of level. I get very deep into, or I get deeper into Serum. But certainly I'm not going very deep into my sound design with Sylenth, or then in turn Hive. But I have Hive installed on this computer, and it is a great synth. What I can do if I just do this. Should have picked a better sample in the first place, but I want to show you guys some stuff. Okay, yeah, cool. Let's just do that. I'm going to show you some experimenting. So if you guys are at home and you want to experiment with some cool stuff, check this out. First of all, I'm going to consolidate that like that. So now it's sunk to time, and for some reason it's 147, 148. That's fine, no worries. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it. And we'll put it on texture. Actually, no, we'll put it on repitch. So we're pitching it down. Okay, so we have now a low dark pad. We could go lower, could we? If I duplicate that and then I consolidate it, so the reason I've duplicated it is because this consolidation is going to save that. So if I want to be able to go back to the original sound, that's why I've made a copy of it there. Now let's stretch it some more. Okay, this is the sort of sound that I want. So I've got a very dark atmospheric sound already. I did that by taking a choir sample and pitching it down heaps. And I took it an F, I pitched it down a bunch of octaves. It should still be an F, but down low now. Ooh, trance injectors. I would have to have a look at that track and see whether I could actually do that. First of all, it's difficult for me to play songs on my channel because I constantly get copyright strikes. The algorithm for picking up songs is just instantly onto it. So, you know, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So, yeah, there's Hive. So if we go and we grab a couple of tools, I'm going to grab the Phaser by Yuhi. And I'm just going to turn it off for now. And I'm going to grab FabFilter's Satin. Now, these sorts of sounds aren't going to appeal to everybody. So, you know, but this is the sort of sound design that I like. So inside of Satin, you've got the ability to change this over to a setting called Smudge. And if we turn the drive down and we start playing it somewhere in the middle, just playing it normally, if I turn that up, and it's not doing anything all that interesting on this particular sound because it's a big sustained note. But this on other sorts of sounds is really cool. So if I grabbed something like a loop, where am I going to find a loop? I'll get some sort of ridiculous loop here. Cool, yeah, whatever. And by the way, don't get these Somatic packs. Somatics reached out to me and asked me to sort of sponsor their video, sponsor their packs, and then once I made a video sponsoring them, they never replied to me. So I shots fired. But basically, all you need is sort of some kind of dynamic and interesting sound source that's coming in. And you put this thing on Smudge, you get all sorts of cool textures. What if we do this? Now I've got that guy. Psychedelic texture. If I consolidate that now, as it is, and then if I go into beats and I select 16ths, I can then gate it. Cool, psychedelic texture, boom, just like that. What else? If we go into here and we grab that phaser and we put that exact same phaser, oh, it's still there, okay. If we play this, turn the phaser on. Ah, what I want is the flanger, not the phaser. This boy. There we go. Got some fucking jet plane stuff happening already. Broken unit. Oh, that's quite cool. What if we combine that with this? stuff in there. What if we cut all the bottom out of it? What are we left with? Quite dreamy. That's quite cool. Donnie, let's have a look at Hive quickly. Am I still waiting? Oh Jesus! What happened? Oh wait, this looks like it's finished. Samples, kicks. Let's have a listen to some of these kicks. Let's not warp them. Yep, cool. Okay. Don't mind that one. Listening on headphones, though, I might have to listen on my monitors in a sec. Oh, yeah? That one? That one's alright, eh? That one's pretty nice too. Nice and sharp. Boom. Don't like that one. It's too doingy. Too short and snappy. No, so I can already tell you. That one. Fuck that one. It looks like the sample's not even been... Yeah, nah, that one's... as you can tell, I like the deeper boomy kicks. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to contact Cymatics so many times now to follow up the aftermath of that video, and I haven't heard anything from them. So I don't know what's going on. I've tried multiple different ways of contacting them. They just seem to be not responsive. It's a shame. Okay, so I'm more inclined to go for this sound over that sound. This one's too... We'll see how it sounds on the monitors, but... So if we structure this, so we've got boom, 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 boom. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now they're all different volumes, so that's a pain in the ass. So we need to volume match that in order for us to have an accurate idea of which one actually sounds better. Okay, so that's plus 14. This one needs 4 dBs. There we go. That one's 14. That one needs 2 dBs. That one needs 1. It's a bit dull, that one. That one's got a strange click at the beginning. We'll go 3 point. Ugh, I don't like that one much at all. I like that one, it's nice and deep. But will that translate well? Okay, alright. So then if we listen to all of them. Okay, I'm going to listen on my monitors, so I'm just going to mute the microphone quickly. So guys, if you're interested in playing along at home, just type the number of the kick that you like the sound of the most. Okay, so I've taken like 4 and 1 out because I don't think they sound that great. But what I also need to do is I also need to come over here and just quickly listen with SonarWorks turned on. So what SonarWorks is going to do is it's going to actually fuck up what you guys can hear over there. So when I'm listening to this, just quickly, just ignore how it sounds. It's also going to turn the output down, which is a pain in the ass. So I'll just keep that turned up at a reasonable volume. I don't know anything about the brand Superlux. I would recommend just to go with the models that are well respected and well known. So, if you let me know how much you want to spend, then I can offer some recommendations. So that and that appear to be almost the same kick, just with a different click. This one's click has some strange high frequencies in it. So if I it looks like it's almost the same kick. Maybe it's slightly different, although that... Yeah. I think that's the same kick. This one's just been tailed off a bit earlier and it's had a click added to it. Let's keep listening. So I think I'm going to cut this one because it seems to be quite deep and maybe it doesn't have enough sort of oomph to it just because it plays really low. So I think number 2 is the one I'm going to pick. Do any of you have an opinion? Oh, so you guys are like 7. Which one was that? Now I don't have it in front of me. There must be a big delay. Ah, there's a really big delay. Why is there such a big delay? That's a real pain. I wish there wasn't a delay. Yay for tambourines. Okay, cool. What? There was a have I got kicks? Dixter kicks. We got a lot of kicks to go through here. Oof. So many kicks. We got Avalon kicks. We got so many clicky, kicky, kick boys. I want to hear what the Tristan kick sounds like. And I want to hear what the Avalon kick sounds like. Whoa, 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 whoa. I want to hear all... Oh, that's Joe Rogan. Any of these kicks could be amazing. Dixter commercial hippies, like... Dude, these are... Oof. That's a fat boy. Holy Jesus. Well, we'll have to give that one a listen, but I think we'll turn it down. There's so many kicks from Dixter in here. I imagine 90% of these are going to be amazing kicks. Licked them. Again, another winner. What if I just grab all these kicks and stack them up and have a listen to a bunch of them in a row? So we don't want to warp these. Oh, okay. Wow. Did this actually get ripped out of a track? Because look, it's like filtered and everything. The fuck? Okay, all right. Well, let's have a listen to some of these other kicks. So I picked kick 2. I hope that was the same kick as kick 9. But either way, let's crack on and find the ultimate kick. Yeah, so I had a producer come visit me yesterday, and he is quite a big Psytrance artist. Played at Boom Festival last year, for example. Plays at a lot of big festivals. I'm not going to say his name. And he dropped by and said g'day and offered to give me some samples because I was telling him how I felt like I was constantly chasing my tail with kick drums. And never getting the sort of kick that I want. So he recommended having a listen to some of these. And as you can tell, the names on the kick drums are quite popular ones. So I'm talking about Hooja Boy, Tristan, Dexter, Avalon, for example. So yeah, I mean, they didn't personally give me their kick drums. I don't know whether they would be happy about me having them or not, but yeah, I'm not going to do anything bad with them. Except make mediocre music in comparison to what those fellas are capable of making. Sweet. All right, well, let's have a listen to these guys and see whether any of them knock out that. Now, I'll listen again with SonarWorks turned off, but then I'll turn it on because I'd need to get a bit of an idea. So let's have a listen. So from what I can tell, these two kicks are actually the same. And I have a feeling that it's the same as that kick again. Because it looks pretty similar. And as you can see, everybody just keeps taking the same kick and renaming it as their own. So who does it really belong to? Let's listen one more time to the other ones. This one, for example, has got a really nice bottom end on it, but the click on it is not so good. And I really like kicks that have a good click on them. So that's what I'm going to go for. So this kick by Dexter has a really nice bottom end to it, but it's just a bit too dull. Okay, so between... Oh, thank you for subscribing. Between these guys, I'm leaning towards these kicks. This kick's not bad, but the click on it's letting it down. I mean, I could always grab out my transient shaper. I could always so for example, just FYI guys, what I could do is I could go SPL Transient Designer. I've got this plugin from Plugin Alliance, and I could do something like this. So watch as I try and get the click of the kick coming out a bit more. So I'm noticing that it's not really giving me the effect I want. I've got another tool that I would use that I just picked up yesterday for quite a cheap price. So it's the Transx Multi in mono that I'll use because I'm not using stereo signal, so why not? So let's see. I'll turn off these two bands and use these two bands to listen to what this does to the kick. Cool. It actually just brings so much life to it. If I turn that off, listen to it with it off. Just slams it. Maybe it's clipping a little bit too, but it really brings out the click of the kick. So yeah, that would make it work. But can I find a kick already that's banging without that? And shall we just quickly double check that we are not biasing ourselves in terms of volume? So we'll just have a look at the volume of everything. We'll play it all again. And then, yeah. Shit, sorry. So you'll notice that obviously I left Transx on and now this kick sounds shit. So if I turn it off, so Transx would definitely fuck that sound up. So that doesn't need any more click. It's got plenty. This kick also has plenty. This kick also has plenty. It's just that one. So what I might do is I might just quickly bounce that out. I'll pull it down in volume. I'll put it down here. I'm going to pull it down in volume, let's say 3 decibels, right? Just to give it a bit of headroom. We'll grab the Trans-X, we'll pull it down there, and we'll drop it on that kick. We'll turn the Trans-X on, we'll freeze it. Oh, sorry, we'll flatten it. And that way, okay, now we've got the clicky boy. So then we'll match all of the volumes of the kicks. So we don't have to listen to it to actually get that happening. So you'll see, okay, that one's 15. That's fine. We'll get them all at 15. So this one, if we're going to be pedantic, we can go 9.56. There we go, 15. And to be honest with you, 15 is a bit fucking loud. Maybe we should pull that down. Let's go -2. So that's what? We'll peak at 13. So then that can be 7... no, not negative. 7.5, not 6 or whatever the fuck it was. Doesn't matter about the points. That one's 12, so let's go 0.70 to get it up 13. Cool. I mean, we can't even really hear that, so whatever. And then we'll go 2.7. Whammy. Okay, well now they're exactly the same volume. So let's have a listen to that and see what we think. Yeah, I think the capo kick, which is now called 3A, is going to win. After putting that transient shaper on it, I reckon we've made a winner. But I still like kick 2. And kick, I still like all these kicks. I'm not saying one kick's better than the other. I'm going to listen again. So I really like the sub from this kick, and I can't tell whether it's too much. But I really like it. I'm going to turn on SonarWorks again just to get an idea of how it sounds with the adjustment, EQ adjustment for my room. So just turn this on, have a listen. So that is a fucking monster kick. Could be too much. And the click on it's shit. So what I could try and do is I could try and slice it off and take one of these clicks and put it on there and see whether we can get something nice happening. I don't like to do this, but because the body of that kick is powerful, let's give it a go. So, and just remember guys, I've just turned SonarWorks on, so what you can hear, you're getting like a huge amount of boost in certain frequencies, so I'm sorry for that, but I just want to be sure that I'm picking the right kick, so I can turn it off for now. Whoops, I was doing that with the camera, the microphone. So what I was saying is we've got some beastly kicks. I just cut that click up to put that in there. It looks a bit ugly, but it sounds good, so it doesn't matter what it looked like. So at the moment, I really like this one, and I just made it my own because I just gave it a new click, so it would be great to use that one actually. But yeah, let's just try and listen one more time, and then yeah, maybe we'll make up our mind. This one just doesn't quite have enough oomph, so it's gone. Okay, so now we're down to the two first kicks that the first kick that I started with, and then the second kick. And I think I've already made up my mind for which one I'm going to use. I really, really like this kick. It's a great kick. Nothing wrong with it. Just doesn't quite have the oomph that this does. Also, an added benefit is this kick packs such a punch, but it's also really short, which I like. It's going to make it work. Like, it's going to be easy to fit it around a bass line. So Donnie, I hope that this message gets to you before you've left the channel. Thanks for coming and watching. Thanks for talking, man. I really appreciate it when people have a chat with me. So, happy music production. All right, yeah, it's decided. It's this one. This one for sure. I like this kick. I'm going to save it somewhere. So if we go to samples, I'm going to put it in the Mind Mirror samples so that when I'm making my tracks, I think of using this kick. Hypnotic. Cool. It's immortalized. Oops, that's not how you say it. Is that going to work? No, it's not. Move to trash. Fuck it. Okay, whatever. Let's just quickly export it. Export. What's this one? Oh yeah, it's more of that one. Okay. Well, I know it's the second kick in the gold pack. Fuck it, I don't need to save it. Okay, you. You are a very, very, very nice kick. I have a very intimate relationship with kicks. That bass, I mean, yeah, but nah. What I just did there is I used this sine wave to phase cancel the bass and the saw wave. So if I do that again really slowly, watch me do it. I set the level of 50%. And then if I remove the modulator, and if I mute the channel, I don't even need to hear the channel. So solo it, but mute it. Okay, so it's playing, right? And if I turn this oscillator off, you'll see that there's bass here, right? If I turn the oscillator on, you see that the bass has been pretty heavily reduced. And if I increase that volume, it comes back. If I decrease it, it doesn't affect it so much, right? So I need to have the volume around 50%, kills a lot of it. So there's much less bass there to conflict with the bass line. And I put this LF on it. So this is where the kick will sit, and this is where the bass will play. So I want the level of the this oscillator to be full volume through here, but not here. Okay, so if I pull that back around, let's have a listen. Sounds really nice already. Could maybe give it a bit more top. Let's play around with the filters a little bit on it. Cool, I'm pretty happy with how that's sounding. Just turn that off for now so you guys can hear it properly. This is what it sounds like. So that doesn't have any side chaining or anything on it just yet. So it's pretty raw. So what we'll do is we'll get the old Trans X multi, because this thing makes bass lines sound amazing. Now have a listen to what this does. So I'll turn it off and then I'll turn it on. Instant transformation. Now what I'm going to do as well is I'm already starting to notice that I'm like, oh, I'm starting to chase my tail with the kick again. Do I actually like this kick, or is it not working? So I'm going to go back to one of the other kicks that I liked and see whether it's any better. And yeah. All right, I'm pretty happy with that now. That kick is pretty monstrous. So we'll get the kick and the bass balance right. We'll put a little bit more work into the sound we're getting. I didn't save the effect I did the other day. So what I might do is I might just quickly do this for you guys to see. I'm going to get an invisible band splitter. This is a Max for Live device. It can be downloaded. I'm going to group it to put it in a channel, and I'm going to go ahead and make 3 chains. First is high, second is mid, third is low. Okay. On the low frequency one, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I only have this. I'm just going to click this to open this up. Just this L activated. So that means low, right? So if I press that and have a listen, it's only playing me the low frequency information. So if I put that down to like 100, actually I can right click, map that to the macro, and it assigns it there. If I go to mid, solo this channel, turn that off and that off, right click, gonna map that to macro 2, macro 2. So now I've got the mid soloed on this one, so low, mid, and this one needs to be high, and I'll map that, and I'll map that, and then I'll right click, return to default, and I'm gonna set that, let's say 160. So I'm basically, if I solo this and have a listen, I'm just hearing my bass. So now I've split everything out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Saturn, and I'm going to put it on the mids, and I'm going to get a Saturn, and I'm going to put it on the highs. And on the highs for now, I'll turn it off because I'm going to look at the mids, and maybe I'll solo the mids. And let's have a listen. So why I've done that is because I don't like the sound of the crossovers that this Saturn uses. I notice when I split up bands and do that sort of thing, that the sound gets really weird. So I'm not going to use that. I've split it using this frequency splitter, which works much better and sounds much nicer. Also, I don't actually want to saturate my low end. I want to keep it clean. Let's move on to the high frequencies. Okay, we're starting to get pretty nice results. We need to now roll this bass line so that it is nicely sidechaining to the kick. And what I'm going to do for that is put the velocity on the level, pull that way to like maybe to there, and then if we pull this one all the way down and then this one sort of halfway down, and have a listen and see how that works to start with.